Asari Dokubbo on news again. He has vowed, of course, to take down the military helicopters, that he has the capacity and the wherewithal, the military sophistication to take down the Nigerian military aircraft as they are hovering over his premises or his house, as he claimed in a viral video.
As we are talking,
with the video now, they will bring the video. As I send it to the video, that the video them.
Wike's soldiers, Wike's police, whoever, had been flying over my house and my compound. I have the capacity to contain them. Nigeria cannot surrender to Wike. Rivers people will not surrender to Wike. The Ijaw people will not surrender to Wike. I have the capacity to contain them. And the government knows that I have the capacity to contain them. As I've been containing other people. Let them tell Wike to back off. I am 60 years old. I've never been afraid of death. I've always embraced death. I'd always embraced death. So I am not afraid of death. So all those who are there, when the helicopter is shot down, let nobody blame them. I didn't go and look for the helicopter to shoot them down. I will shoot down the helicopter. I will shoot down the helicopter. I swear by Allah that I will shoot down the helicopter. Whoever is commanding them should be warned that I will shoot the helicopter down. Enough is enough. That Tinubu will hand over River State into slavery. The Wike. Wike is nobody. Without this panaflex, it's nobody. Wike is nobody. Let them remove this thing from him now. I think he has billions. He knows the market. He has bought guns for his men. Let them remove this thing from him. And let us see. Go and vote. I will go and vote. I will vote and you see me vote. Nothing will happen. We vote. Result will be announced. Chairman will be sworn in. And we will see. Chairman will be sworn in. And we will see. I don't want to talk too much. We will not talk too much. There's a military formation in this community. We did not look for their trouble. Your father Madu is a Mungu. You cowardly Igbos. Do you think I'm like you people? You will see the capacity working. They will do until we go and catch Wike with our hands. And then you see our capacity.
Well, it is quite interesting as River State um, joins other counterparts, of course, to exercise the local government election, which has been, of course, most controversial. There have been vested interests and opposition trying to exert their own influence over the dominance and control of the River State resources, just as Wike and his men have vowed, of course, not to rest until they rescue River State and they reclaim and control, of course, the governor, the incumbent governor, which the governor has vowed to resist any attempt to subjugate and take over the leadership, which he happens to be the executive constitutional elected governor of Rivers State. They are battling and struggling for the control of the soul of River people and the economy. You know what that means? Too much money to grab with, of course, too much money to share, too much money to wed their influence and their economic and political influence. Wike, upon leaving office, has become very restive about what is happening. Perhaps he believed that Fubara is no longer loyal to him and will no longer do his biddings. But that, of course, is usual, as Wike should expect. Otherwise, just as he did with Rotimi Amechi, telling the Rivers people that he would not accept any imposition or suppression. He would not accept any godfatherism or control of his own dispensation. But unfortunately, he have, of course, short memory to remember how Rotimi respected himself and shifted, of course, take the back seat and move on with his life. But Wike has appeared to be very defiant and unyielding and is not backing down. He must fight until finish. Well, of course, Fubara have said this nonsense must stop as IGP of police was allegedly, of course, used to subvert the election or electoral process, according to Fubara, the governor. But then this has escalated beyond what should or be curtailed because this is a fierce confrontation and a survival, of course, of the fittest. It appears that this has gone beyond mere political rift or political interest. This is now personal. They are taking it, and Flora have vowed that the election is will take place just as it is today, and of course, as development, we are yet to receive what is the aftermath of that election. But then there are alleged two military helicopters are gunboats hovering over Asari Dokubbo vicinity as Wike has vowed to take down Asari. He is the brain behind the insubordination. You know, prior to this time, that Wike has also used Asari Dokubbo in support of Ahmed Bola Tinubu and all this like. It's just very unfortunate that people fail to learn from history. It appears that history is about to repeat itself. And Asaref Dokubo has not asked himself a question. He claimed to be 60 years, but it appears he's not a good student of history. What happened to, of course, Abdakabaro, Isaac Abdakabaro? What happened to Sawariwa after he was used to achieve the political gains and interests, to defend the interests of the same government? They turned back against him, and today it is history. How he was also killed by the same government. Would it be that another history is about to repeat? Of course, in the case of Asari Dokubo, as the powers has ganged up against him, and you know, Wike, he have seen him as a stumbling block, and we want to get him out of the way by all means, as a way of taking his own pound of flesh. And Wike was afraid, of course, of losing his structures if the local government election is conducted, of course, by Fubara. You know what that means. His entire structure, which he has bragged, of course, to be in control of river people, and the river state will eventually vanish in the thin air, and that will make him politically redundant and irrelevant, of course, as far as the river elections and power sharing is concerned. Wike will be relegated, of course, to the background, and that will mean the end of his political dynasty. And he wouldn't want to go down without a fight. And you have seen now that Asari Dokubo, who, of course, was once in his camp, has now turned against him. And the only target, of course, is to get him down. And they have deployed the military, perhaps allegedly, as Asari Dokubo claimed in a video that weakest military, of course, are hovering, that he has the capacity to contend with them. You can imagine that Well, let's see what would be the aftermath of this claim. But the truth is that, of course, the military will definitely take on with Asari Dokubbo and his men. And perhaps that may be the end, of course, of Asari Dokubbo as being, of course, as fierce as in the air. Well, Asari Dokubo have expressed that he has the capacity. But one unfortunate thing about him, why must he always involve Igbo man? It is needless to call Igbo. Does he think he has the capacity to withstand the Igbo people? I think that is enough for Sari Dokubo to mind his dictions about the Igbos. You see, even Wike has claimed that he's not an Igbo man. So why should you end up antagonizing the Igbos? What has Igbos really done to you? The man who you believe is, of course, uh, antagonizing your interests is not. He claims not. He made an open proclamation that he's not an Igbo man. So why should you, of course, have this deep-seated hatred for the Igbos? What has the Igbos done to you? That is a question of my interest. I think Tony will need to make these clarifications. If he's not, if he's dying and he didn't mention Igbo, if he's talking, he didn't mention Igbo, if he's coughing, he didn't mention Igbo, and insult his own conscience, his insult his listeners, and not the Igbos. Of course, the Igbos are far beyond such being ridiculed. Of course, they are the largest black ethnic nationality on the surface of the earth, not just in Nigeria. Of course, the history and statistics have it, and you can't contend with them. So take Igbo out of this, whatever, of course, is your headache. You face your problem and let your problem face you. And whatever happens to both of you, it is your business. So don't involve the Igbos. Well, let's see how that will go, of course. But the truth is that Nuike has pitched his tent against Asari Dokobo, believing, of course, that he might be the brain of behind the backbone of Fubara. Once he's been taken down, or by all means displaced, of course, Fubara might definitely surrender according to my own analysis or perhaps perception. But then, only time will prove him wrong. All right. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, share, and of course, like this video. Share it, let others get to join what is happening. Would it mean, of course, the perceived enemies of the Igbos who joined hands with the perceived enemies of the Igbos to frustrate, to fight against the Igbos, is being hunted down by the same people he has built affinity, of course, and aligned with. Well, only time will tell. Let's continue to watch. It's becoming more interesting. But of course, the Fubara have said and have maintained that the election will be heard, of course, and the outcome will be announced, and there will be a chairman that will be returned. It's an interesting moment. Yes, police has surrendered, has backed down for the first time. Of course, I think it happened in Enugu, Anambra, or so, where police saying that we are not part of this election. Of course, the MBA, Nigerian Bar Association, have said that is the height of rascality. Of course, the judgment given to that by one judge or court, of course, is said is height of rascality. Well, political rascality and judicial rascality. We are going to see as the film season series continue to unfold. We are promising to keep you in touch as things continue to unfold. One, I got I got with the mgbasa ozi, of course, as we are doing now. Thank you once again. It is happening. It's an interesting moment, of course, when two elephants are rubbing off shoulder. Well, let's see, of course, whose wing, of course, will Frank or Ugabaji, whatever be the case. We are watching Asari Dokobo and his capacity, of course, as is likely acclaimed. And of course, what the Nigerian government or the defense headquarters, of course, Wike will definitely do. He said he's going to capture Wike by hand, and they will know their capacity. Could it mean, of course, a moment to kidnap and perhaps rendition Wike? only time will tell. But we are bringing, of course, the latest Obenga news here in Wave TV, keeping it real, exciting, and informative. Of course, has been a concern, and to this end, how we are committed to serving humanity. Thank you once again for watching. Bye until we come your way in subsequent edition. Just continue to watch.